Nintendo swooped in, announced and presented an Indie Highlights showcase, and we are here to give you our review and what we think comes next. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Gabe is here. Their show is over. 16 minutes, 9 games, and to my surprise, this was Nintendo of Europe only. I've been traveling, so I guess I missed the boat to that side of the globe. I thought this was going to be a worldwide indie presentation, but it was Europe only, which sort of shapes my mentality for what happens next. But let's focus on the show itself. We had 9 games announced, including the much coveted WarGroove, which I thought would be the drop of the day, but alas, it's February 1st. That's still pretty soon.
Yeah, only a week. Zach, not a long time to wait before I can defeat you in those online skirmishes. Very, very excited about that. But the presentation itself, I'm wondering, what did you think?
I expected there to be more games, and I expected certain titles to be touched on that weren't. I guess, to me, they tried to focus on quality over quantity, which maybe is a good thing. Also, this being an Indie Highlights showcase, it had just a more narrow focus, and I remember that from the last time we had this style presentation. I'm still caught off guard slightly that it was Nintendo of Europe only, but of course we're getting all these games over here. I do give them props for bringing 3 games out right now. That's a lot of surprise drops. They're not necessarily the ones that I wanted specifically, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. I thought in general every game had merit and looked cool. I was surprised that there wasn't more with dates, though. Like, a lot of just 2019, and I don't know. I still feel like Nintendo is missing so many release dates. We have so few. I thought they would go heavier on specificity.
Some of these developers, like, they kind of work up until the last minute, it seems like, oftentimes. Mm-hmm. You know, WarGroove just saying tweets like, hey, we're working. Oh, it's almost done, guys. You'll find out soon. It seems like they're down to the wire a lot. And, you know, I'm not trying to say that that's what all these 2019 dates, that's not exactly what I'm saying, but that could be one of the reasons. Zach, one thing I wanted to touch on that I very quickly thought about you when I saw it, SteamWorld Quest. What'd you think?
Ooh, I got chills when I saw the Image and Form logo pop up. That's one of my favorite indie franchises. I think they've done phenomenal work. And when they revealed it, I literally felt like I was being pulled in 2 very opposite directions. Because on one hand, I love card-based games. And on the other hand, taking this totally turn-based and RPG would probably be the genre that I least want them to go. Now, I know that's been a heavily fan-requested move. They've specifically said, like, hey, people have been wanting a SteamWorld RPG for years. So I don't know. Like, I loved Dig 2 so much, and I think they do platforming so well. And yes, Heist was a lot slower, but this is going to be the most tried and true turn-based yet, it seems. Hopefully the card mechanics help keep it fresh and unique. I have the utmost faith in the team over there, so I'm not worried in the slightest. But yeah, I kind of had like a little bit of a like devil angel on the shoulders type reaction to the reveal.
They haven't missed yet. I'm not doubting their ability to tackle this genre and do well with it. I'm very, very excited for it. If it wasn't for the fact that WarGroove was coming so soon, like, this would probably be like the one I'm excited for the most. Besides, speaking of most, I want to talk about InMost for a second. I think it looks...
Chucklefish is back.
I think it looks phenomenal. And Chucklefish has a history of not putting things out when they say they're going to. But we have a 2019 date. Hopefully it hits. I think it looks really cool. It's a story-based, side-scroll platformer with combat. We get it. It's a genre that's been done a couple of times. But I learned from Celeste that genres that have been done a couple of times doesn't mean that you can't have a very good experience. I'm hoping that this is somewhere... I mean, clearly it's not going to be anything like Celeste. They're not too similar, but the genre is similar, so if this can kind of do a story well and have some touching moments, the description of it sounds like super cool to me, so I'm really looking for InMost. I know that you're not as high on it as I am. I think it looks beautiful. You think that it doesn't look very well just like graphically, but
yeah, let me tell the people what I think here. I really like Chucklefish. I think they do great work. I think it's funny that as soon as they announce a date for WarGroove, like, bam, on to the next thing. WarGroove, get out of here. We're good to go. It looks like everything else, like an amalgamation of everything. Like, if you were to describe, like, pixel-based games, 2D games with a dark vibe and a brooding story, games that have a little bit of mixture of gameplay, a little bit of platforming, a little bit of exploration, like somber little cutscene intro. I don't know, it just feels like 2D pixel art Switch the game.
Yeah, but see, but that could be said about Celeste, though. That's why.
No, because Celeste's focus was on supreme gameplay, and I don't sense that here. Maybe it is, but at the end of the day, like the deep storytelling and the emotional connection we made, that was just sort of like frosting on the cake. But what got us hooked and what made us excited was we knew how precise Towerfall was, and therefore incorporating that into almost a Meat Boy style super difficult platformer. To me, that was the hook for Celeste, and I guess I'd rather be hooked by gameplay, especially in these smaller titles.
Sure, and maybe I'm doing myself a disservice by setting my expectations so high, but I genuinely think it looks cool. It's all personal opinion, and that's perfectly fine. Just a couple more games to touch on here, and we'll do these quickly so we can get into what we think is happening next. Goat Simulator dropping. It's $30.
That was the only one that was weird to me.
$30, but it has all the DLC. Yeah, I have no fondness for Goat Simulator. I barely played it. I know it was wacky. It was a YouTube sensation, like you mentioned. I mentioned it in the other video as well. But, I mean, it's there if people want it. It doesn't harm. It doesn't sway me in any way. Like, I don't care about Goat Simulator. The one I wanted to move on to next, though, Zach, is Unruly Heroes. It gave me some super strong Rayman Origins and Legends vibe in the gameplay. Some of the art design in it is super cool as well. I saw like some silhouette stuff that was sort of Donkey Kong-esque as well. This one looks cool. If it has some of the precision, gameplay and the cool elements, the boss fights is another thing that looks kind of cool that they mentioned in the copy that I read about it. I'm looking forward to that one. It's out now. You can go play it.
Yeah, this was another case for me of doing a double take where I thought to myself, did Nintendo mislabel something? Like, is this Trinology? All of a sudden, are we seeing Trine on Switch now? Oh, wait, this is Unruly Heroes. This is a different game. And I did the same thing of like, holy crap, Slay the Spire looks a little bit different than I remember it. It's got more of a cutesy art style. Oh, SteamWorld Quest. And obviously, those two games, Unruly Heroes and SteamWorld Quest, will exist in their own right and probably provide totally unique experiences. But it was interesting that I fully expected Slay the Spire to be here, and we get something that is, at first blush, kind of a lookalike, and then we get Unruly Heroes, which people have rumored trying for a while now, and that seems very similar. So that kind of just was like a strange, like almost deja vu type moment for me. Where I was like, no, it's SteamWorld again.
So now that we talked about what happened during this presentation, let's talk about maybe what's next, Zach, because you still expect something maybe this month.
I do, and I think to me, the fact that this was a Nintendo of Europe exclusive presentation, yes, the games apply all over, and that's great, but the fact that Nintendo America is still radio silent in 2019, they need to say something. I also think that so many of these games do not have dates. We know that Yoshi is at the end of March. That is still a month and a half gap, and we still don't know anything beyond that. They've got to put something out at some point. They have to let the shareholders know. They have to let the fans know. They have to let press know what is coming out. I mean, we have PAX East right around the corner, and before you know it, it'll be E3. Nintendo needs to establish what the heck is going on Switch between now and then. And sure, we have some things like Mortal Kombat 11, Lego Movie 2 just got its date this morning as well. We know that WarGroove is out the 1st of February, but I fully think that there is a presentation. Whether it actually hits in January, that's hard to tell. But if I had to pick, I say yes. I know that we've only got 2 Thursdays left. One of them is tomorrow. But gosh, the fact that this is region specific, they got to say something. I still am Team Direct. I still think it's coming, and I'm still very hyped and very ready to hear them lay out the plan, at least for the rest of Q1.
I mean, a Direct is happening at some point. Like, I mean, there's not a lot to speculate on.
It's got to be soon. It's got to be soon, though.
Yeah, I mean, but I wouldn't put it past February. I mean, February could possibly still happen. I mean, we only have 1.5 week left in January. There's not a lot of days, so unless they announce it early next week and boom, the last day of January is when the Direct happens, like that could totally happen. But Yeah, I'm not holding out hope. My mind has now gone to February. If it happens January, great. Maybe it doesn't happen at all. Like, who knows? I'm gonna just wait until we hear from Nintendo before.
Well, it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen at all.
No, I know, but it'll happen at some point. I just don't know when. So for now, I'm gonna temper my expectations. And cool. For now, I'm just happy that we got some cool announcements today. The next rec is happening at some point. Zach thinks it's happening way sooner, and time is running out. And we will see how that ends up going, because we do have some people, Zach, that are like almost conspiracy theory like levels of like, oh no, the direct isn't even happening. Nintendo has never mentioned. I mean, it's gonna happen. We know that. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, I mean, let's fingers crossed that matter of when doesn't move us many months down the road. I don't know. I woke up and I was like on Nintendo of America's YouTube channel. I was like, wait a second, this isn't even being broadcast here. It's on Nintendo of Europe only. So that to me is the backup. I do want to mention that Crosscode is coming to Switch. I've seen really great things about that, and I sort of strangely premonitioned to this one by texting you about it about a week ago, and you thought it was on Switch, and I was mentioning the Steam version. And lo and behold, here it is on Switch. I've seen some real glowing recommendations for that one. So I could not let it go without being said. Let us know what you think, how you feel about today's show. I would say, Gabe, like, it's a weird one to rank amongst the other indie presentations, because, like, WarGroove to me is the big get, and it's out in a week, so that's great. It's not today like I wished, but hey, it's out in a week. SteamWorld, like, technically that's a big announcement. Something about it felt like slightly underwhelming. Maybe it was even the way that they presented it, but it might also just be that it was like quality over quantity. I was surprised by the length that they spent on some of these titles.
Yeah, I think I liked it a little bit more than you. Like all the 5, games that we talked about. SteamWorld, super excited. WarGroove, super excited. Goat Simulator, excited to try it for a little bit. Won't play it a lot. InMost, super excited. Unruly Heroes, I really want to play. So I'm really into all of those. So I don't know. I'm happy with it overall, I guess.
I'm Team Direct, still coming. We got 2 Thursdays to go. Fingers crossed. I got 2 chances to get this one right. Let us know if you are Team January or Team February, maybe Team March, perhaps even Team April. It's got to be before then. But let us know your take in the comments down below, everybody. What do you think of today's show? If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. We appreciate it a lot. Make sure to subscribe. YouTube's been super stingy and weird lately, so if you want to know when our videos are out, hit that notification bell. That will be your best way to know, because they have been having trouble sending that stuff out. In the meantime, everybody, have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. For myself and Gabe, that's an indie highlight in Europe only. Where is the Direct? SwitchForce out.